The Sugar Hill Gang performing the 1979 hit Rapper's Delight, considered the first popular record in the genre of hip-hop. Over the last 50 years, hip-hop has cycled through countless stages, subgenres with chart-topping hits, often reflecting top-of-the-mind political issues for artists and their fans. The roots of hip-hop and its evolution over the past 50 years, the subject of the new book, Hip Hop, His History. Joining us now, its author, 6-time Grammy Award-winning musician, Academy Award-winning filmmaker, and co-founder of The Roots, Questlove.
Wow,
Quest, so good to see you.
That was impressive to hear.
That was build-up, and I couldn't even fit everything in. Tonight Show, upstairs, everything else you got going.
A few other things, you know.
DJ of all the biggest parties across the country. You're doing it all.
I'm trying to do less work now.
There you go. So we were just talking, we're basically of the same generation. I grew up on late 80s, early 90s hip-hop, which is where that's my favorite stuff.
Same.
Where do you trace the birth of hip-hop? And then we can kind of walk through its growth into the mainstream.
Well, you know, one of the things that I try to uncover is that, yes, we gave it a birthday. We said August of 1973, but, you know, even before August of 1973, the spirit of hip-hop has always been prevalent in black music culture. Like, even if you look back in the 40s during the Renaissance jazz period, like, that was seen as outlaw music.
Yeah.
Hide Your Daughters. Ray Charles, turning gospel music into salacious sexual songs. That was outlaw music. And even if you look at like the Last Poets, the Watts Prophets, Gil Scott-Heron, like hip hop, the spirit of hip hop has always been there. But, you know, we mark the August 1973 day of Kool Herc doing a back to school party to raise money for his sister's school clothes.
On Sedgwick Avenue.
On Sedgwick Avenue, as the moment in which you're hearing the breakdowns of songs, like that magical 4-bar part where it's just the drums, and it causes excitement in the room. So, so most people will agree that August '73 is the starting date, but I mean, hip hop has been here since we've been here.
You mentioned the outlaw piece. I know one of your favorite groups and mine is Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Put NWA obviously on the West Coast in that category.
Yeah.
There was, for a kid growing up in the suburbs loving the music, there was a safe distance from danger, you know, from a lifestyle that I only heard about through the music. How important were those bands, those groups, to the growth of hip-hop?
You know, I've been noticing, even when writing this, that a lot of people's sort of first look at black life were through the music. You know, and rarely do people actually immerse themselves inside the river. They like go right to the edge and see, oh, what are they doing over there? But for Public Enemy, I always describe it as, you know, when the rock generation gets the Ramones, or the punk generation gets Bad Brains or Sex Pistols, hearing Rebel Without a Pause back in like 1987 was like that moment for me in which like their entire album, well, one, just woke me up. But also, their album made what I thought the boring part of my parents' record collection like come alive.
Yeah.
Because suddenly it was like, wait a minute, where did I know that from?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, and then you put two and two together, like you know, there's no feeling like that discovery.
Joe.
You know, one of the things, Questlove, that one of the reasons why I told you that I thought Summer of Soul was the best music documentary I've ever seen is because it wasn't really a music documentary. It was a documentary about culture. It was a documentary about race, about politics, about faith, about fashion, you name it. It encompassed just an entire culture, an entire time. And I'm wondering how that translates to this book, because I know it's the same. I mean, even generational. I just have to bring this up. One of my favorite parts is poor David Ruffin sweating in velvet, and then Sly came out, and everybody's like, "Wait, what's he wearing? He's got a white drummer. What's going on up there?" He played by his own rules, Sly did, and I'm wondering how did you explore it in this book? How this is so much more than a book about music.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because when I'm done here, my follow-up film is the documentary of Sly and the Family Stone, and I'm gonna actually finalize it.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Today's the last day. Like 2 years of working on this. So basically, This book and the previous book, Music is History, was actually the result of me trying to find ways. Like I would use creativity to calm me down in the pandemic. So the stress of surviving the pandemic, worrying about my loved ones in the pandemic, and being handed the responsibility of telling this story, the Harlem Cultural Festival in the pandemic, I needed something to distract me, to just calm me down. And so I would DJ online, 4 or 5 hours. I was DJing every night on social media during the pandemic, and I wanted to keep kind of a meticulous record of all the music I played. And so 5 months into it, suddenly I had 2 books worth of music, and eventually my publisher was like, well, you're not DJing online, you're more or less giving a college course, so why don't we turn these into books? And so this is actually the result of me trying to find a hobby to stay calm in the pandemic while I worked on Summer of Soul. So I've worked on like 5 things, and this is like one of the last things I worked on during the pandemic.
Some people learn to bake bread. You did this.
Exactly. I wasn't breaking bread. I was making bread. So.
Well said. So tell us where you trace the history here. Tell us where hip hop is now.
You know what? I'd still joke with myself that if adults are jarred or somewhat they don't understand it, then yes, then it's right where it should be. Because I think when something becomes like your parents' music, it might have that jump the shark moment. Yeah. And the spirit of hip hop is still alive, and will continue on. And then I'm sure after Generation Alpha, there will be another music art form that we will. I'm almost expecting for like white noise and environmental noises to be the new thing. Like the way that Andre 3000 is going, like a more primitive expression. I fully support that. So.
Nobody understands music better than you. We have to give a shout out to a guy we were just talking about in the break, which is Ralph McDaniels.
Yes.
I grew up around New Jersey. We didn't have Spotify. There's no YouTube. There's no other way to see video, really hear the
Video
music.
Music
A couple
Box.
radio stations.
Yeah.
Video Music Box really helped bring that culture across the river out into the world.
Yeah, even before Yo MTV Raps. And, I lived in Philadelphia, so even a short proximity to New York, like I had friends and cousins up here that would always make tapes so I could watch it. So even way before Yo MTV Raps, like Ralph McDaniels, the person that's showing you these groups like Ultramagnetic MCs and The Audio 2 and JVC Force, like these groups that you never heard of that were making these life-changing classics. And especially that period between like 85 and 95, like that's when the rules were written, been rewritten, and basically run our lives now. So
yeah,
I love Ralph McDaniels.
I love him too. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels. At some point, hip hop culture just became American culture, right? I mean, it's mainstream.
It starts off as a subculture,
Yeah.
then dangerous culture, and then becomes everyone's culture.
Also got to congratulate you guys on 10 years of The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
The first thing Jimmy says when you talk to him was, I got the roots and I knew we were going to be okay. Because so much of what you guys do is musical. So congratulations on that.
Thank you for that.
Congrats.
You're a very, very busy man. The new book,
Yeah.
Hip Hop is History, is on sale now. New York Times best-selling author, Grammy and Academy Award winner. Did I get it all, Quest?
I think so. Some of them.
Thank you very much. Also, Steph wanted me to ask you about the Wordle today. Don't give it away,
no,
but
I haven't done it yet.
is it hard or easy?
You know what?
they've been
I've been doing so
ridiculous
much press
lately.
for the book that I've not been in our Wordle
Okay.
group. But Stephanie is in my Wordle group.
Yeah,
Yes.
Quest leads a prominent Wordle group in this building. Quest, congrats on the book. Hip Hop is History is available now. And that does it for us this morning.